Hi, I'm Sherry Henley, founder and CEO of Business Over Coffee International, and you are watching Business Over Coffee TV. And I'm here with my host, my co-host, and I'm so proud to say, Shelley Baur.
Good morning.
Good morning, author of Integrity-Based Communications. I want to be like her when I grow up. So, Shelley, tell us about our topic today, what we're going to be discussing.
We're going to be talking about the evolution of collaboration, something you do so well, and a particular event that we pulled together in Memphis, Tennessee, thanks to the help of our colleagues at SunTrust Bank, right here in Memphis.
That's right. And we are all about four things: connections, collaboration, exposure, and business. And what are the three words that we do? What's our mission statement for Business Over Coffee? We are...
Oh, come on, Sherry.
bringing everyone together. So stay right where you are. We'll be right back. Thank you so much for coming back to Business Over Coffee TV. I am Sherry Henley, your host today with my co-host Shelley Baur, and we are talking with Usman Akbar from SunTrust Banks, who is over business development right here in Memphis, Tennessee. And Usman, tell us about the business development that you are in charge of in the Memphis Mid-South area, I would say.
Absolutely. Well, first of all, thank you so much for the opportunity to be here this morning, and you've given us the opportunity to have talk to the folks out there. Pretty much the business development, what I do for the bank is being able to connect with the clients and find out what their needs are, and then make sure that they are connected with the right folks in the bank. So if there's a business owner who is looking for business lending, then I'll make sure that they are connected with the folks who handles the business loans. If they're looking to set up personal accounts, then I make sure that they are connected with somebody on the retail side of the bank so they can have their personal business, banking business taken care of. So that's pretty much what I look for. And I deal with all kind of clients. It could be commercial clients, organizations that have a revenue of over 25 million and more. I deal with smaller businesses with the revenue of 5 million or more. And then I also look for the opportunities where I can help my retail team have a business with the individuals themselves. So basically, that type of business comes from working with larger organizations where they have a lot more associates. So I make sure that, especially SunTrust has a employee benefit program that we promote. And that's primarily another big part of my job too, is to promote that program with these organizations. And once we have that program implemented with the businesses, that gives us the opportunity to connect with the associates of that business on an individual basis. That's where our retail side of the banking will come into place and have the conversations.
So he's like the master connector, would that be right?
I am the master connector,
right.
Absolutely. I tell the folks a lot of times is that my job is to connect the dots between the clients and the bank.
So. I love that. In fact, that brings us to our topic today, Shelley, of evolution of collaboration. And so what I'm hearing you say is that you build the relationship, which is where it starts, Absolutely. With the client, and then it evolves into a connection, which could evolve into some type of collaboration.
Absolutely, absolutely. You know, you go in to have the conversation and looking for the opportunities for the clients that way bank can help. So it's not about me just going out there and putting a product out on the table, but we really want to know how can we help you grow in your business, because we're here to stay.
Sure.
So if we're not able to help you grow, then we're pretty much wasting your time and our own time, and that's not the what we're looking for to do. So how do we help the customer strategize in their business and get the fundings or meet their needs in any possible way we can to help them grow their businesses so more can be offered. So
Sure.
As the customer grows, then bank will grow. And
Right.
that's the whole
Right.
name of the game here. And another big part, I do a lot is the financial education. Right now, we have seen as the economy has taken, took a dip in the past, and now it's starting to come back up, and really glad to see that part. But this is a critical time where we need to make sure that our any age group is well educated in finances, whether it's for business or whether it's for personal, that they understand exactly what institutions are there, what type of institutions are there, what type of products do they offer, and yes, which umbrella is going to be more helpful for them in meeting their banking needs.
And I find that interesting because that's what we did, and Shelley, you were there when we did the collaboration at Fleming Steakhouse.
Yay! Where we ate last night.
That was really good.
It was.
And Vijay and Sridhar were key in making that happen. So tell us, Vijay, how you brought Usman into the mix with that collaboration effort with BOCI, and what it looked like, and how Sridhar came into the mix as well.
Thank you, Shelley. Yeah, we started as I'm primarily in the Diversity Council with the SunTrust Bank, and we try to, as a part of Diversity Council, we look for opportunities where we can help customers or people around Memphis, Mid-South, on financial education or any other way bank can help. So from that, there are several, from the Diversity Council, I realized there were several financial education activities going on. And when I was talking to Sridhar on, we were going out for lunch and we were talking about things, and Sridhar brought up the BOCI and said that it would be a great opportunity for the small business owners to learn about financial education, especially during that time with the budget changes and all that, with the elections, how things might be affected, and which way they would go, and with the fiscal cliff coming on, what are the changes which are going to happen.
This was in 2012.
This was in 2012,
happened, yes.
And for a common man like me, it is hard to kind of listen to all that in the media and figure out how it's going to affect my life or my business. And I wanted a way where the facts can be laid out just straight, and people can take it from there about what's going on, and not selling anything, nothing going on except for education. And that was, and Sridhar was very helpful in connecting, taking that point across to you, and we all sitting together and figuring out a way to make this happen.
Yes. And Sridhar, real quick, and we are so pleased that Usman was able to join us today, and he is going to be exiting in just a moment. But before we go to our break, I would like for you to elaborate with Shelley about how you all walked away with great information from that event.
Sure. Thank you, Shelley and Sherry. I think one of the big things I walked out, like what Vijay was saying, is there have been so many things happening. Everybody's talking about fiscal cliff, and people like me that have small businesses, we don't know what's going to affect us. We don't know where to go and get the right information. So when we were talking, like Vijay was saying, when we were having lunch and we were talking about it, and I said, okay, this would be a good opportunity for all small business owners that are part of Business Over Coffee to really learn the facts straight from the people that know about it, rather than reading from one media to other media, and everything is so conflicting. So that's when I said, okay, let me go and talk to you so that you can see if this is going to be a right fit, which is really a right fit.
Absolutely.
And then that's going to be very helpful for me or other small business to plan accordingly for the coming years from 2013. And that was one of the big things I learned at that event is, okay, how do I plan for my 2013?
Well, we are out of time on this segment. Shelley, we're going to come back to you when we come back for you to elaborate on that particular topic.
Great.
And Usman, thank you so much for dropping in to be with us today.
It's been my pleasure. Thank you so much for the invitation.
SunTrust Banks, Memphis, Tennessee.
Absolutely.
Usman Akbar, who is over the Business Development Department and would love to talk with you. Usman, would you give us your contact information?
Absolutely. My office phone number is 901-415-7022, and my cell phone number is 901-201-0863.
Thank you so much for helping us bring everyone together through the evolution of collaboration.
Well, thank you so much.
I don't like this crowd you're hanging out with, young lady.
But Dad,
I don't like this crowd you're hanging out with, young lady.
Dad, I mean...
Witness, if you will, a scene from a movie in which there was bad acting. To no fault of the actors, for which they paid for acting lessons and an acting coach. What they really needed was the Rising Fire Zone.
Welcome back to Business Over Coffee TV, and today we are talking to friends who are very important in a collaboration effort. And since today's theme is the evolution of collaboration, Sherry, you asked me just before the break what my takeaway was from this amazing event that we did at Fleming's Fine Steakhouse.
Yes.
And I have to tell you, the whole thing was kind of a mystery, the way it unfolded. I kept on bugging you for more information because you were saying, come on, invite people. And it's like, I want to know more about the
master
speaker.
communicator.
That's right. I
Yes.
want to know more about the speaker. I want to be putting out the right information. Because there was a part of me that's going, man, if this is going to be a pitch, I'm really going to be not happy. Not that I would blame you, because I knew that it had been promised that it was going to be about education, but there was a piece that made me nervous. Well, of course, you got the right joint venture partners here to pull this together, and so here I am on television admitting that there was a part of me that was going, maybe I should be banking with SunTrust, but whatever. I just want to give a lot of shout out here to Sridhar and also to VJ, because they were just really masterful at pulling it together. And quite frankly, we're all putting our neck on the line every time we do a collaboration effort like this, right? I mean, what if we hadn't turned out with the crowd?
A
Then
banker's term, risk versus rate of return.
That's right.
So there
that's
you
right.
go.
So
Yes.
the place was packed. The people were fascinated. It was a wonderful presentation. And not only did I walk away with the understanding that SunTrust really did mean to give back to the community, it was just great conversation, and at our table anyway, and timely, relevant information to allow us to dissipate the fear and say, you know what, we're going to move ahead with business. It's going to be what it's going to be, but here's some information that can help us feel more comfortable and well prepared for doing what's next.
Absolutely. And this was our first, or going to be our first collaboration. So there were several things I learned, and coming back from from the initial standpoint, I understood. Sherry kind of acknowledged the fact that we wanted to do something just for financial education, and she told me about your fears about selling something. And for me, I work. I'm a diversity council board member, and I do not directly work for the bank. So I wouldn't know how to sell something. So I work in the Robinson Humphrey division in the capital market. So I'm not in the retail division. So that was an easy sell for me to Sherry, saying that, we won't be, at least from my perspective, there will be no selling because I do not know how to sell. That is how it started. I think this was, I'm very glad that this was our first part of the collaboration, and there were several things which came to my mind during and after which we will be discussing next.
Good.
That's right, very soon, in fact.
And Sridhar, you played a key role in making this happen, which we have talked about briefly, but I would like for you to elaborate on how you see the evolution of collaboration. And you've told me, so I know the different steps and I know our 4 words: connections, collaboration, exposure, and business. But from your perspective.
Yeah, that's a good question. Collaboration is very, very important for any organizations, right? So the reason being, you don't want to do everything for everyone. You want to collaborate with the right people or with the right companies or with the right organizations to deliver the right message. Because you don't want to be master of everything, because then you'll end up jack of all trades but master of none. So even in my whole thing about collaboration is, before collaboration, you need to actually have connections with people,
Yes.
knowing about them, and then you need to get the trust that they're going to take, like, okay, they're going to deliver what they're supposed to deliver.
Yes.
So that's what I got from Vijay when I was talking to him, and I've seen him doing the other things for the Indian community with the bank and what they have provided and produced, those events. I mean, it's phenomenal. I mean, it's never a sales page. It's exactly what we want. And then I talked to him, and they said, okay, why can't we collaborate on this so that you, Santosh, could educate the business owners, the small business owners, which it's very difficult as a small business owner to do all the research, because you run everyday operations, you run everything in your business. You don't have so many people to run for you. So I always want to think that we need to have connections and network first, and develop that network into where you trust the collaborators. And then when you're trying to go with an event, rather than having everything, you build everything, just bring the right collaborators in there.
Yes.
And make it much more successful, because each one, they're master in their own area. And overall, if you collaborate, the event would be very, very successful. Rather than giving a mediocre event, we're going to give a very, very high value event. The output would be high value.
So really, in this situation, he was the pivotal point. He had high trust for you. He had high trust for his colleagues at SunTrust. He doesn't work for any of them. He was like the independent connector.
The liaison.
The liaison, sure.
Absolutely.
So anyway, well, tell us a little bit about your business.
Yeah, I have eBay Solutions. It's a technology company. We help in the technology strategies from anywhere from small businesses to Fortune 500 companies and startup. We work with a lot of startup companies, help them evolve in their technology roadmaps and build some technology for them. That's part of my, that's the part that I get paid for, right? The other part is I'm very much involved in the community.
Yes.
I co-founded Launch Memphis, which is for entrepreneurs. And then I'm on the board of Healthy Memphis Common Table, trying to get the health consciousness within the community and also on the hospitals and the providers
So
side.
important.
And this year I'm also the chair of Clean Memphis, trying to keep the city clean and coming out with different kind of initiatives to make sure that this city is clean. So
Yes.
I'm pretty much part of the community. I try to do a lot of stuff that's going to make this community better.
Absolutely. And share with us why you decided to stay in Memphis.
Yeah, that's a big story. Like I came to Memphis by accident, right? So not by choice, right? It's because my brothers were here. So I thought, okay, I'll just stay with my brothers. But the day I came, they left. Both of them left Memphis, and one brother moved to North Carolina, other brother moved to Cincinnati. And
And they didn't tell you before you got here?
no, they said, okay, they got jobs and they left. So, and I came and I finished my master's, and while I was doing it, I had a lot of people saying that, dude, you need to leave Memphis. This is not the place you want to stay. And then I decided, okay, then I thought, okay, if everybody is moving, there's a brain drain here. So if the few people that are going to stay here, we can make a difference.
Yes.
Good
So
for you.
then I decided to stay back. And staying back and just sitting and going to work and coming back is not the way I want to live.
Right.
I always want to be part of the community. So then I started involving in the community, and I started becoming on Impact, which is a great organization.
Yes.
And then became a board. I became on the board of Impact. Then I went into Nexus. It's a leadership program with Mentor and Prodigy. And I had a great mentor, Nick Clark.
He's fabulous.
So he really changed a lot of stuff for me. That's how I started getting this network, connecting the dots, so getting to know more people. And then I went and did like Leadership Academy and Leadership Memphis, and trying to get exposed to the community, the different aspects of the community, what makes this community strong. And as I was doing that, I got opportunities to get onto several boards, served on the board, served on the mission, and I saw that there's a lot of things going on in Memphis that could turn around and make the city beautiful.
Right, and you are highly involved in the strategic side of computers and things like that, and Business Over Coffee, we're very social media based, as you know. And I would like for you to elaborate, and all of us to actually join in this conversation, as to how social media plays a role in the evolution of collaboration, starting with Sridhar.
Yeah, social media is here to stay. So whether you want, you don't want, you got to be part of it. But one thing you got to learn is, okay, what is the social media is like? Social media doesn't mean it's Facebook. Social media is like, there's so many other tools. But identifying that right platform for, if it's your personal branding or if it's for business branding, identifying the right brand. And take that tool. For example, for me, as a business side, LinkedIn works for me the best. The Facebook is not my thing, in the sense that, because I want to communicate with professionals, and I get about 25, 30 times searched in a week. People seeing my profile, and I get about 30-40% of my business through LinkedIn. So I know my niche, where I need to be, where I need to concentrate on. So social media, you got to think about, okay, then today we have 4 or 5 channels, right? And then Pinterest. And now if I've seen some of my clients, they get more traffic for Pinterest, but it's a type of business.
Exactly.
It depends upon the type of business. If it's a service-oriented business, you're not going to get a lot from Pinterest. You probably get from LinkedIn or Twitter. So social media is there, but you got to choose the right platform. And you just don't want to get, when you get involved in the platform, you got to stick to it. You got to have some kind of policy. If you are doing it, you need to have policy for you. But if you want your employees also to be on the platform, you got to have a very strong policies in place before engaging into any platform.
Shelley, tell us your experience with social media. I know it's been a little struggle for you in some areas of social media.
Well, originally I got pulled onto Facebook because that's the only way I could keep up with what was going on with the kids in Chicago and New York, which is where our children are. But actually, I'm like Sridhar. I focus more on LinkedIn. When I do a blog post, I will automatically do a little tweet and I'll do a little LinkedIn. And it used to be that LinkedIn actually took an RSS feed from my blog. I think now you got to be at a different level of membership or whatever. But I still do a post on LinkedIn and a post on Facebook and 1 or 2 tweets during a 24-hour period around a blog post. I, too, am searched a lot, and I'm not sure that I effectively do what I need to do. You know, integrity-based communications is really my brand, if you will, but I'm working both with solopreneurs and people who want to be coached in presentation skills, and then I'm working with corporations on training and presentation skills and that sort of thing, leadership development, et cetera. But I can tell you to get back to the collaboration, I can tell you just from the conversation today, just in this show, I need to get these guys connected with some people that I know, and without this show, we wouldn't have had the opportunity for things to come up where I see some commonality that I didn't even know about.
I love that. That's a great point, because our last show, Deborah Norwood and Barbara Bradley were on the set together. Barbara Bradley is with the Commercial Appeal in Memphis, Tennessee, and Deborah Norwood is the laughter lawyer. And the next thing I know, there's a huge picture of Deborah with her bright red nose on right in the Commercial Appeal. So yes, that's what we're all about, is bringing everyone together right here. businessovercoffee.biz. Make sure that you visit our site and set up your complimentary profile. I would like to go to VJ because I find it very interesting how social media is somewhat, because of the regulations with banking, it's somewhat taboo with banking. Can you elaborate on that for us and how you think maybe bankers will be able to evolve into more social media.
And you're right about that, Shelley. Thank you. Using bankers, using social technologies has always been a regulatory topic. And can we do this? Can we post about it? Even from a personal opinion, as in suppose a asset manager or a financial advisor, can they post their personal opinion on social media, and slowly people are adopting with the banks. And it is, Sridhar brings up great points, and how small businesses are rushing to adopt social technologies, and it's completely opposite with the banks. Yes. If you see from past several years, there has been several changes in the social technologies, and it took less and less time. Like to get 50 million subscribers on Facebook, it took about a year. And before that, for internet service providers to register subscribers of 50 million, it took 3 years. And now Twitter did it in 9 months. So the adoption is quick, but banks and financial institutions are very cautious before they jump in. And coming to the best way of collaborating is social collaboration, and that's exactly what we are trying to do here. I think that works better than using social media itself and opening a Facebook account or anything. The social collaboration with targeted groups works better instead of social media and going all over the media, and then just targeting specific groups and slowly taking on the social side of it.
Well, essentially, what happens here is they don't want to get in trouble by being on social media, but by collaborating, they can leverage the social media following that you have, that BOCI has, to bring the people to the table that allows the collaboration to happen. Because if the institution doesn't participate, there's not an event, and if the people don't participate, there's not an event. So it's wise use of resources and leverage.
It really bridges the gap.
It does.
It does, and that's what we're here to do. So as we wrap up, Shelley, would you share with everyone how they can contact you? You're the master communicator, and then take us into the evolution of collaboration with everyone here at the panel sharing their contact information.
Okay. Well, my name is Shelley Baur, SHELLEY-BAUR, and my websites are www.integritybasedcommunications.com and Shelley Baur, SHELLEYBAUR.com. And phone number is 901-340-7517. And to my colleague, Sridhar?
Yeah, my website is ThinkEbiz. It's thinkebiz.net. And my contact is 901-270-4397.
Thank you. My name is Vijay Kalaga. It's V-I-J-A-Y. Kalaga is K-A-L-A-G-A. And my number is 901-842-3831. And my email address is vj.kalaga@suntrust.com.
And we will be bringing everyone together again with SunTrust, so make sure you're watching for that with BOCI and SunTrust Banks. That's Business Over Coffee International. I am Shelley Henley. I am so pleased to have had this panel today on the evolution of collaboration. Vijay Kalaga, who is with SunTrust Banks, Sridhar Sankara, eBiz Solution, and also, that's Solutions, correct? And also Executive Counsel for BOCI, and my co-host, my beautiful co-host, Shelley Baur, who you also serve as Executive Counsel for BOCI. And I am the founder and CEO of BOCI, and I'm very, very happy that I was able to be with you today as well. And our guest that had to leave earlier, Usman Akbar from SunTrust. Such a pleasure to have him on board as well. Make sure you join our platform at businessovercoffee.biz. We are bringing everyone together with more connections, collaboration, exposure, and business. We work with professionals who want to optimize their business through 3 things: social media, educational exchange, and networking events. Until next time on Business Over Coffee TV, continue bringing everyone together.